Alright everyone, it's time to talk about election fallout and the difference between being salty and satirizing people, number one, but also the worthlessness of saltiness, number two. Don't be a fucking liberal in 2016, in other words. I still see a lot of people, like the other day I was like, basically other than an 11th hour rule change in the US Senate and Mike Pence getting involved, Beijing Biden is the next president. The electors voted for him. I realize that there are dueling electors, but as I pointed out earlier, it doesn't really matter. The dueling electors clause that people are referring to in established law was superseded later. People don't appear to want to realize this. That's the way the law works, and unfortunately people have to deal with that. Now, my first point would be this. If you believe in honk honk, the totally non-existent irregularities that people claimed were in the election. If that is the case, Joe Biden is extremely unpopular. His fans are not motivated in any way, shape, or form, and basically is a lame duck on day one. Merciless satire of everything that he says and does, and the exposure of his many crimes and gaffes to come to public view, which the MSM won't do. They'll handle him with kid gloves. It'll be like he's playing wiffle ball for 4 years, or however many years before he likely resigns and Camel gets in there as the unelected first female president, which would be a fiasco for the Democrats and probably hurt them politically, if that's true. If his unpopularity is that rife, and those that actually support him are so soft in their support that it was basically, think of the official explanation as well, a bunch of people voted against Trump. Okay, well, if that's the case, they're not in favor of Biden. They don't approve of him for any reason other than he's not an orange man. Basically, he doesn't have an R after his name. Basically, he's like the tired old grandpa that you like hugging a sweater sort of thing. That shtick will not last very long in giving you a political mandate. Even in time of crisis, COVID and so forth. Even if the Dems end up grabbing these Senate seats in Georgia, which they might, the polling is basically 50-50. If you're not voting Republican in Georgia and you're a Georgian, I don't know what to tell you. If you don't turn out to vote there, you're just smashing yourself in the face. It's called cutting off one's nose to spite your face, and it's pointless. I would say that in that case, that the official story is true, Biden has no support. If the official story is not true, Biden has no support. Mercilessly satirize and mock everything he and those around him do, because there will be plenty to mock. Buttigieg will be in the administration. The jokes will write themselves. Kamala Harris as the VP. The jokes will write themselves. Satire is a powerful weapon. 2016 was basically won by memes. Basically won by a bunch of trolls. That's basically the sum and substance of the last election. This election, honk honk, which was perfectly fine in every possible way, was won by discontent with one party, not support for the other, according to the official story. We're talking in code here for terms of service purposes. Being salty won't accomplish much. Merciless mocking and satire will. We've seen it before. We're now in the internet politics generation. But the MSM, the Soccer Mom America audience's chosen cable and news outlets, they're not going to report on any of the dumb shit that Biden does. They will cover for him for as long as he's in there. No matter what he does. If he starts a war, he's liberating people. He fucking drops dead while he's playing possum or something. They'll lie straight up to the American public by omission every single day. About him, about the people around him, all of which are sleazebags and warmongers at this point, and we can see the direction of his admin. The second thing you can do is come to an understanding. A Beijing Biden administration means you've signed a modified TPP, which will fuck American industry over, worse than NAFTA did. You'll join the Paris Climate Accords, which requires massive new taxes. It's feel-good NIMBY nonsense. It'll just send heavy industry to nations that'll cheat the climate accord. China and India and stuff. On paper, they'll say, oh yeah, we're being green too. Behind the scenes, they're just cooking the numbers. They'll release much more emissions than the West will be saved. At least in the West, we'll have cleaner air. We don't have any jobs, but I guess you can breathe air. They'll be bottling it and selling it to you anytime now with a prescription. Anyway, come to the conclusion, you will have an economic downturn. You will have higher unemployment. You will have stagnant wages. You will have constant attempts at interventionism and hyper-regulation. The first good news is that will become extremely unpopular because Biden, even with the help of the MSM, is not going to be able to pitch that to the American people for long. The Republicans will probably sweep up the House and Senate in the midterms, at the very least making him a complete lame duck, if not outright removing him from office if they have the votes. That could happen. It is not impossible. 70+ million Americans are convinced that he's not legitimate anyway. They will push for impeachment. If enough rhino cons get primaried out by the America Firsters, not only will Trump say, ha, told you so, and be back in 2024, he'll have the House and Senate to boot. And it'll be a fuck fest. It'll be hysterical. Biden probably won't even run again if he's reasonably healthy, which we all know he's not. If he's in the same condition he's in now, he probably won't, just because of age, because nobody's going to want to elect someone who's 82 years old. He'd probably be Kamala. I don't see anyone else willing to. Buttigieg might try again. He got, by the way, shellonged worse than Bernie Sanders did. Biden is not going to be able to reconcile the far left with the center left. It's not going to happen. Basically, his party is crumbling as we speak. Right now, all the progressive caucus people, the Gang of Four, they're refusing to vote for any form of coronavirus relief that doesn't involve a direct stimulus and a mass expansion of unemployment benefits. It's an unpassable proposal. The Republicans will balk. Some of the Democrats will balk. It's hilarious watching these people fuck up their mandate. They're already doing it. It's not even in office he's fucked up. He's already fucking up. He's already yelling at civil rights leaders and crazy shit like that. The other part is improve yourself. You can't always ask other people to do things for you. There are steps that you can take in your life to improve your life, regardless of the economic situation. Be a little bit more stoic. Grow an extra line of potatoes, so you don't have to buy them at the fucking store. Grow a couple rows of corn. Learn how to home garden, even on a fucking balcony. Get a little solar thing and grow your own tomatoes. Grow some kitchen herbs. Do everything you can to reduce your cost of living as much as possible. Do everything to maximize your income. Self-improve. Work out a little extra. One more day a week. Learn one new skill. Learn to be conversational in a language or something. Make yourself more marketable. Make yourself more empowered. Take power for yourself. If people start doing this more, we won't need as much government. The problem is that people, ultimately, authoritarians are just, they don't want responsibility. They want big daddy government to do it for them. The planet is dying. Oh, you mean I should plant a tree? I should participate in Green Up Day? I should volunteer at the local organic garden center or something? No, fuck that. I want more laws and more taxes. People can pay for it, and government will do it for me. I'm being abused in some way. Oh, you mean I should defend myself? No, I want more government. There should be, I found something objectionable on the internet. I want government to make it illegal. Oh, you mean I should just switch the dial if I don't want like what's on the radio? I should just go to a different website? I should change the channel on the TV? No, that takes effort. Basically, some of these people, they're like a big fat obnoxious toddler with shit dripping down its pants who yells and screams that they want their way all the time. That's basically what some people in government and unfortunately some people in society are. Perpetually salty individuals. They're fucking pillars of salt and don't realize it. Doing that doesn't help anyone. It doesn't help you either. You can take the placebo of government helping you in life and give it more power and stuff, and it'll give you some welfare crumbs to get you to vote for it over and over again. But it'll never actually uplift you. Only you can do that through your own effort. People saying, well, this doesn't work anymore. There is no way to break the system. There's no mobility anymore. Yes, there is. Dude, we've been suffering. Think of it this way. I'll use myself as a little happy example. And I realize that this isn't the norm for people, but it can happen, and it did in my case. I was born into poverty. I spent the first 28 years of my life in poverty. Through my own efforts with regards to literature and fucking promoting myself, I managed to rise up considerably to the middle class. Or to the lower echelon of the upper middle class, or wherever I'd be classed in at this point. I managed to do this, despite the fact that at the time, the economy by and large was fucking shit. We were in a recession with incompetent, bureaucratically addled left-wing government under Obama, and prior under the piss-poor policies of Bush pissing away a surplus. And he was no anti-regulator, by the way, either, starting a bunch of fucking wars and shit. Ignoring the bubble that was bubbling up under the economy and completely wasting our money with the stimulus that didn't do anything. Then we have Obama and his shitty administration. We have even more war, more debt spending. He robs the nation blind, gives hundreds of billions to corporations and banks, and ignores us for years. And yet, despite all of that adversity, Most of us made it. Most people did not go completely broke. Most people, some people rose up, some people slid backwards. A few people had a make or break situation. Some of them became billionaires, some became homeless. This always happens. Even if you have really good, competent leadership, even if you have a Trump admin, it's still possible to fail. It's just incrementally less likely, but ultimately, at the end of the day, a lot of it's state government anyway. A lot of government, most of it happens at the state level, and people don't realize it. They think that Beijing Biden is going to become a dictator. Look, we've had people for the last 4 years claim that's what Trump was doing. We had people claim that about Obama and Bush and every goddamn president since day one. Improve yourself. Mercilessly mock and satirize the Alzheimer's-ridden asterisk president in name that we're going to have to fucking deal with, because you will. Mock him. Satirize him. Use your free speech. And if you roll over and play dead and say, well, free speech is dying anyway, so, it's hopeless. You get all demoralized and blackpilled. Yeah, that's how you lose. Absolutely. You will lose if you're demoralized. If you just hashtag resist, and the left managed to do it effectively for 4 years, why can't people that are like Trump fans do that to Beijing Biden? You're all claiming that he's not anywhere near as popular as he's purported to be by the MSM anyway. Well, then you outnumber them. So what are you so fucking afraid of? What's he gonna do about it? Throw you in jail for satirizing non-Dr. Jill Biden? I don't think so. Fucking keep speaking out. Improve yourself. It's just like when like the neo-Nazi people, they get all salty at me because I told them, well, if you're worried about white people being replaced, you should have an extra kid or something. Have more white babies. But that's not feasible. That doesn't change anything. We're still gonna fall by the wayside. People who don't understand demographics, number one, mathematics, number two, and number three, don't want to take any responsibility whatsoever. Yeah, we're the master race, but I can't manage to feed a kid, so I'm going to go childless life because all these women are whores and stuff. It's a bunch of horse shit is what it is. It's people who don't want to take responsibility. And watch, there will be people bitching in the comments section about what I'm saying. But I am right. That's about all. Peace out.